you live each day of the week. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What you waiting for? Come and take a seat. Like and subscribe, this is where you wanna be. Cause you know we gon' talk about it. Let's talk about it. Get in here, we in here tonight. So get in here, we in here to vibe.
And we are bike, y'all. We are bike. What is going on with y'all? We are bike, y'all. I only been gone for like what, 30 minutes, it seems. We are bike. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We are bike. What's going on? What's the new news since we left? All right, so I'm not gonna even stay long. She said, "You look so beautiful, more." Oh, hey, can y'all tell that I literally just, y'all be suggesting me so many things. I literally just curled my lashes. I just literally curled and lift my lashes, y'all. Literally. I literally just curled and lift my lashes. Smooth over my eyebrows. You know, my bald eyebrows. I'm getting them done again in about eight more days, 7 more days. February the 8th. February the 8th, I'm going to get them darkened, okay? But anyway, I look bag of goodies. It's my bag of goodies, baby. I literally just did that. And you know, it feels so good to be able to just laugh with all my fucking teeth, you know what I'm saying? You know, do stuff like this. I ain't got no teeth missing on the side, y'all, you know. When you can talk from your full mouth. Anyway, some people can't do that, baby. Anyway, what y'all doing? We're gonna talk, y'all. I just put first day of Black History Month because my husband came in here and just said Trump is trying to take away Black history, Asian Pacific history, and a few other important Black days. Okay, they trying to take away our Black days. What are we gonna do about the president of the United States trying to take away our Black days, honey? He's trying to unacknowledge Black history, Black this, Black that, blackity, black, 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 black. Next, we're gonna have denounced calling ourselves Black, okay? We're gonna not even be Black Americans no more. We're just gonna be Americans. Now, I will say, with that said, we're the only country that does that shit. Other countries don't acknowledge their people by white Americans, Black Americans, Asian Americans. They actually don't do that. They actually acknowledge their people by Italians or Africans, or you know what I'm trying to say. They don't actually say white Africans, Black Africans, white Australians, Black Australians, white how you say Peruvians, I may be saying it wrong, or Black ones or whatever. They actually just call each other Americans, Australians, Italians, Africans. You get the gist, okay? Cubans. So we are the only ones that do that. All right. However, Lauren said because they don't have to, they don't, because you know they probably treat them equally. Now, I will say in other countries, instead of them having a, I'm not saying that they don't have a race problem. Let me clarify myself. I'm not saying other countries don't have a race problem, but their things is more classist than it is racist. Okay, they base people off of your status, how much money you make, you know, what you're bringing to the table, versus what you look like, what the damn color skin that God made your ass. Okay. So anyway, but yeah, so we're going into February the 1st, Black History Month, and it has been threatened to be snatched off the table. Now, I heard that he since came back and said, well, let's just keep Black history, okay? He don't like the way his Black supporters are feeling about him wanting to snatch the plug on Black History Month, okay? But he's not just Black history. Let me make myself clear. It's not just Black history that he is trying to deplete. He's trying to deplete Asian Pacific history, women's history, Women's Day, Martin Luther King Day, and a few others. You know, if you guys know, let me know down in the comments. However, and somebody said, but not President's Day. Exactly. And you want to know why he wants to keep President's Day? Well, let me just tell you. Let me just think of a reason to come out here and tell you guys, okay? She said he hasn't taken it back. Well, I did hear that he came out and tweeted that he will keep Black history, okay? But June 10th and all them days, he wants to axe it. Pull the plug. Let's take it back. Let's take it back. So that is absolutely insane. You know, he's a very bizarre type of president. Okay, he definitely wants you to know that he's been there. He wants things to impact everybody in the world. Well, let me just say everybody in this country. He wants it. He wants to leave an impact, even if it's a negative impact. He wants to leave an impact. He's definitely trying to leave this earth with saying Donald Trump did this, Donald Trump did that. He wants to land an impact. Okay. She said Trump care less what anyone thinks. If you're not rich, white male, he doesn't care about you. Very interesting. I do agree with that. I do agree with that. You cannot sit here and say, honestly, to be honest with you, I'm not going to agree with that, Jessica. Let me put a little twist on it. Trump only cares about himself. And the reason why I'm saying that is because he is a narcissist. He is a narcissist. He is all into himself. So to be honest with you, it's not even a rich white man, because he threw him under the bus too. So I have to stop you there. It's not just rich white men. It's whatever that makes him look good. He wants to look good, right? And I'm not saying that it's wrong to want to look good, but at any cost. So to be honest with you, Trump would throw a white man under the bus just like he would throw a white woman, a black woman, it does not matter. He is self-absorbed. He thinks of himself, okay? He thinks of himself. What she saying? Hold on. Oh, yes, she said it's a federal holiday, yes. Yeah, so they definitely want, but I thought Black History, well, no, Black History Month is not a federal, well, it's federally, well, isn't it in Black History federally recognized? Black History Month is federally, well, it's probably not federally recognized. It's just, I don't know. When you say a federal holiday, I would think Black History was federally recognized as well. Isn't Martin Luther King federally recognized? Now you're gonna have me looking. What are the federally recognized holidays? Because now you got me thinking like, isn't it okay? What are the federal recognized holidays? All right, is it not Martin Luther King? I could have sworn it was, but let me go. So we have New Year's Day. Yeah, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I thought so. Washington's birthday, that was our first official president, I guess, if that's what you want to say. Memorial Day, Juneteenth, Independence Day, Labor's Day, Columbus Day, and Veterans Day, okay? Those are the federally recognized days, holidays, okay? Those are the federally recognized, wait a minute. Well, they're not necessarily federally recognized. Oh, yeah, it does. The federal government recognized 11 holidays. Oh, wait a minute. New Year's, Martin Luther King, Washington's birthday, Memorial Day, Juneteenth, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. So 11 federally recognized days, okay? All right, so this is the Bible right before our eyes. They chose a murderer over Jesus, a man who with no sin. America rewarded all of this man's bad behavior, and here we are. So, yeah, I have heard other people mad because we as Blacks have the whole month of February for Black history. Well, that was just, they did that because we were not acknowledged as human beings at one point in this world. Okay. We were treated and acknowledged as less than. All right. So they did that because they wanted to show a contribution to Black people, because Black people contributed a lot to this country. Okay. We practically built this motherfucker, if you really want to know the truth, but y'all ain't ready for that. Okay. So, yeah. 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 Okay. At any rate, y'all ain't ready for that. I don't think nobody's ready for that, because honey, we'll have this whole podcast popping for real over here if I could really pop off how I really want to pop off, you know, because I learned a lot about Black history over the time. I didn't grow up learning about Black history because where I was raised, they didn't teach it to us, and my parents didn't talk to us about it. But since I've been an adult, I've learned a whole lot about it. And baby, don't really have me go there. Don't really have me go there, okay? He's trying to do what he said he wants to do before he first became president, and that's make the rich richer and the poor poorer. You know what? In other countries, I will say that that's exactly what they do. So in other countries, they literally separated by classes, okay? They don't have a middle class. Believe it or not, I will go further and say I don't like being a middle class at all, okay? I'm what you call an upper middle, right? But I don't like being an upper middle, because being an upper middle class, you get shit, not shit. You get no loopholes from the rich folks, and you get no help from the, you know, I hate to say poor people, but the less than people, okay? Being middle class sucks. And actually, we actually need a president that fight for the middle class, but we have not had a president that fight for the middle class yet. All right. They're always either thinking about the people that's less fortunate, giving them all type of government assistance or whatever. But us middle class people do not even qualify for. But we also can't get in certain doors because our money ain't long enough. So being a middle class, we are the unprotected class. Okay. Now they do have a lower middle, and they got lower middle, middle, and upper middle. We're considered upper middle class, but we still don't qualify for a motherfucking thing. And we still pay more taxes than the rich folks. But y'all ain't ready to hear that either. Y'all ain't ready to hear that either, okay? Because some people strive to be in the middle, but why? Why? Because in the middle, when you struggling in the middle, you ain't getting shit. The middle class, to me, work the hardest, okay? Anyway, but some countries don't have middle class. Some countries, a lot of them, they either go by your ass is poor or your ass is rich. Okay? Now, with that being said, if you are not rich, they treat you like the poorest of the poor. Okay, meaning that you won't go indoors, you won't live in certain neighborhoods, you won't be privy to this information, you won't get these jobs, you won't drive these type of vehicles, because they consider you poor. In some countries, you either poor or you rich. Okay. My son literally stopped talking to me 3 weeks ago because I told him Black women are tired of trying to fix things, and Black men give us their behinds every time. Your son stopped talking to you for that? She said some countries will give you automatically health care. However, Sherry, how you say that, Sherry Amore? From what I've learned is free, what I highlighted the wrong one, I'm sorry. Free healthcare is not always the best healthcare, okay? So, getting things for free don't always equate to better. Okay, because we heard one of our supporters say in Canada, the Canadians in Canada, they receive free health care, but you may have to wait 11 months to be seen by a damn doctor. So free ain't always good, if you will. So I'm not pushing free health care, because free health care can hurt a lot. It really, really can hurt a lot. Okay. So it can actually cause more deaths, cause more illnesses, because if you can't get in, let's just say if you have an infection, they're not going to take your infection and make it a higher priority than a gunshot wound, or you can't breathe, or what I'm saying, a real injury. So an infection can kill you. An infection can kill you, just like bleeding out can kill you. So I'm not really keen on having to wait 11 months to be seen by a doctor, because it's free to get in there. Since you barely can get an appointment with insurance. Well, see, that might be a difference when it comes to us being in the military, because, honey, I make my appointments. One thing I like about people like to dog the military out so much, but let me tell you something. One thing I like about my military's career and me now being military retired is they have programs in place. Now, I do thank the law people for putting this plan in place, and I hope they don't take it away. Is that, let's just say in the military, they're backed up and they can't see us. They will allow us to go out to another facility to be seen, somebody that can take you right away, and then they bill them for seeing us. So they leave it open for the military veterans to be seen in case of an emergency or an immediate need of attention for an injury or illness, or or whatnot. So, and it's plenty of times when I was able to just walk into a urgent care and be seen, whether it was for a really bad sinus infection, a migraine, or or UTI or anything like that, and be seen within an hour, and then they bill the VA. Okay, so if you didn't know that you had that, if you are a veteran, if you didn't know you had that, you definitely do. You definitely have those rights. So I absolutely love that that we can actually be seen. She said, and certain surgeries too. She said people cannot even afford the medication. They have programs for that, though, as far as the medication, lots and lots of programs. Now, again, I am fortunate enough to say I don't pay for shit. I don't pay for no medicine. Unless, like the other day, I literally went and got some B12 vitamins just to give me a boost throughout the day or whatever, because I'm starting back going to the gym, dropping a couple of pounds, because, a girl and got a little fluffy or whatever. Still fine, though. Don't make no mistakes, a mother effing about it, baby. I'm still fine in the motherfucking wine now. Of course, I got my little loungewear on, baby, but don't make no motherfucking mistakes about it, okay? I'm still cute. I'm still fine. I still got it shape. Okay, stop playing with your girl. Stop playing with your girl, okay? I'm still fine. I ain't no wide load. I ain't no dump truck. I ain't no bus. I ain't no 18-wheeler, all right? You ain't gonna hear beep, 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 beep when I'm backing up, all right? But I do need to lose. I would like to lose about 20 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get skinny, but trim down just a little bit, okay? Because your girl isn't got a little fluffy cooking and baking and eating my ass off. Oh, my husband sent me a message. I don't even know. What is this, babe? Hold on. So my husband sent me, I guess, where President Trump has, let me put it up right quick, has recanted his wish to delete Black History Month for 2025. So let's go over it right quick, shall we? Okay, so it says this is crazy as hell. So he took it, he got rid of it just to come back and recognize it. All right, anyway, by the President of the United States of America, a proclamation. Today, I'm very honored to recognize February 2025 as National Black History Month, as if it ain't always, but whatever. Every year, National Black History Month is an occasion to celebrate the contributions of so many Black American patriots who have deliberately shaped our nation's history. Throughout our history, Black Americans have been amongst our country's most consequential leaders. Y'all know, listen. Let me say this right quick. I don't always get all my words correctly. So if you're new here, understand I will fuck up a word in a minute, but I will try, but I might fuck it up. Okay. With that said, let's continue on. Okay. Anyway, so throughout our history, Black Americans have been amongst our country's most consequential leaders, shaping the culture and political destiny of our nation in profound ways. American heroes such as Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, okay, Harriet, you know, some people don't know nothing about her at all, nothing at all. They think that she unattractive person. But anyway, let me digress. American heroes such as Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, Thomas Sowell, Justin Clarence Thomas. Oh my God, did he really put him there? And countless other represent what is best in American and her citizens. Did he really put Justin Clarence Thomas? Okay. Their achievements, which have monumentally advanced the traditions of equality under the law in our great country, continues to serve as an inspiration for all Americans. We will also never forget the achievement of American greats like Tiger Woods. Are you effing kidding me? Anyway, who have pushed the boundaries of excellence in their respective fields, paving the way for others to follow. That this National Black History Month, as America prepares to enter a historic golden age, I want to extend my tremendous gratitude to Black Americans for all they have done to bring us to this moment, and for many future contributions they will make as we advance into a future of limitless possibilities under my administration. Now, therefore, I, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, by virtue of authority vested in me by the Constitution of the laws of the United States, do hereby proclaim February 2025 as National Black History Month. This nigga act like he anyway. I called upon public officials, educators, librarians, and all the people of the United States to observe this month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hands this 31st day of January in the year of our Lord 2005 of the independence of the United States of America, the 249th. Anyway, so I don't know if this is just something that all presidents do, because nigga, we don't need you to proclaim Black history as Black history, because hasn't it been Black history for some fucking years? Anyway, I digress. Maybe this is just traditional for all presidents to do, reiterate that they acknowledge a certain holiday, because I don't know nothing about this. Like, really, he act like he took it away just so he can come back and write this proclamation by saying, I created this holiday. Is that what he did? He wanted to make himself look good. That man is crazy for real. So you took something away temporarily just so you can come back and give it back to the United States people? No, he is trying to overdo it, just like TikTok. He wants credit for everything. OMG. So you know how people die and say, oh, I'm leaving a legacy behind? He wants to leave some type of legacy behind, I guess, to say he created or started this program, created or started this day. He saved TikTok and so forth and so on. That man want credit so bad. A straight narcissist. You're right, Robin. A straight effing narcissist. She said, give credit where it's due, Carter G. Woodson. Yeah, I'm literally surprised that he put the freaking, he did Justin Clarence Thomas because he is probably the only Black Republican judge. Actually, I think he's the only Black Republican judge on the Superior Court. We don't have another one, do we? I think he's the only Black Republican judge. Oh, it's okay, Courtney. You okay? So, and then he says Tiger Woods. OMG, when Tiger is not even fully Black. Anyway, we ain't gonna go there. We ain't gonna go there. I guess he's going to rescind June 10th too and turn around and give it back. I guess that's what he planned on doing. Leave it up. Leave it to that man. He acts like he wants to rewrite history. Oh, yeah. The woman. You're right. She just got it. What's the woman name that just made it into the Supreme Court justice? They drill so hard. What's her name? Tell me in the comments. What is the Black female name? They put her ass through the damn ringers, baby. She said Amore said June 10th. It's Juneteenth, but hey, it sounds all the same. Kataja, yes, Kataja, that's her name. Kataja, yes. So we got two Blacks on the Supreme Court justice, but he mentioned the Republican one, which is Thomas Clarence, Clarence Thomas, what the hell his name is? Justice Clarence Thomas. Okay, anyway. But nevertheless, that's not what we only just talking about that for a brief moment, honey. Let's get into ASAP Rocky. Do y'all want to hear about ASAP Rocky? Oh, you do? Okay. Let's pull up ASAP Rocky and find out what is going on with his trial. Okay, so for you guys that do not know, Rihanna's baby daddy, boyfriend of 4 years, is on trial for his life, y'all, really for his life. I am going to show a video clip of what's been going on, and we are going to talk about it. How about that? Let me get to the clip I want to show you guys right here. It's about 20 minutes long, but I believe as I was searching, it gave the best updates as to what is really going on.
Thanks for staying with us here on Live Now.
All right, hold on. Here we go. All right, here we go. Oh, let me give a little context right quick. So for those that don't know, ASAP Rocky, which is Rihanna, boyfriend of 4 years, they've been in a relationship for 4 years. He's been charged with 2 counts of assault with a semi-automatic weapon, okay? He, his friend, used to be friend, former friend, Rely, is accusing him of trying to unalive him, okay? His knuckles was grazed, allegedly grazed by the so-called bullets from that gun, and he is being charged with that. They tried to offer him a plea deal of 180 days, 6 months in jail, and probation of about 7 or 8 years. He declined, said, hell no, I will meet you guys and get full justice in court, okay? So now he is facing up to 24 years in prison if found guilty, okay? His defense right now is saying he's not denying that he shot the gun, but they're saying that he shot the weapon in self-defense because Rely was being a troublemaker and started it on one of his friends. And he pulled out a prop gun to try to break up the confrontation that Rely had toward one of his friends, okay? So right now we are in like day 5 or something like that of the trial. And so far they have found Rely, which is the one that went to the police in the first place, his former friend. He got so many lies that he's being caught in on the stand. So as of right now, his case is not looking good. However, they are still trying to say because of the ballistic report that was put into the trial, allowed to be entered into the trial on day one, open statements, they're trying to say we found a gun in the house. They didn't find a gun on the scene, but when they went and raided ASAP Rocky's house, they found a weapon, and they're saying even though the weapon and the bullets that the former friend turned in 2 days after the incident, even though they're saying that those ammo is not the same ammo that was found in Rocky's weapon in his own home. They saying no, it's not the same weapon, it's not the same ammo, but they're saying the weapon that they found in Rocky's home, it is very well capable of having 9mm rounds. And 9mm rounds is what the former friend realized is what he turned in to the police, saying that these are the weapons, these are the rounds, shell casings that was used against me in the attack, okay? All right, listen up, you guys. This is the latest update.
Fox and your host, Christina Evans. We do want to continue on with our coverage of today's top stories and this week's top stories, revisiting that trial that's now underway in Los Angeles. Do want to put up some video as well for you here of the rapper ASAP Rocky, who is now in court battling and standing trial for 2 felony charges that he fired a handgun at a former friend who's known by ASAP Relly. If convicted, Rocky could get up to 24 years in prison. There's been a lot of information coming out of that courtroom. We do want to now go to our friend and legal affairs journalist, Megan Tuna. She's here with the very latest. Megan, thanks so much for joining us here on Live Now. We know you were in the courtroom watching as some of this testimony went down. And of course, everyone's still talking about that ASAP's very famous girlfriend, Rihanna, was also in that courtroom. First, though, let's focus on the trial. You explained the charges that Rocky is now facing and what could happen if he's convicted.
He is charged with 2 counts of first-degree assault with a semi-automatic firearm for the same nighttime confrontation with his former friend, Relly. One of the charges alleges that he brandished the gun and pointed it at him. And then the second charge alleges that he actually fired the gun. And his defense is that he did fire a gun, but it wasn't a semi-automatic gun. He says it was a prop gun or a starter pistol that he carries on him for self-defense, and that he fired this as a warning because Relly was attacking their friend. And he also says earlier that he never actually pointed the gun at Relly, that this was a starter pistol and that Relly was the aggressor in this. And the only reason it was out was because Rocky was trying to warn him to back away. He's looking at a significant prison term if he's convicted of this. He did reject a plea deal that would have given him 180 days in county jail with a possible 7-year prison sentence to serve if he doesn't complete 3 years probation. But he rejected that and is taking it to trial. Prosecutors have said that they could recommend between 10 to 12 years in prison if he's convicted. I think the maximum is 24 years here, but it really remains to be seen what he could get in prison. But I think it's safe to say that it wouldn't be 180 days. But his team is confident that they can get an acquittal here.
And that's what I was going to go to next, because we heard about that plea deal. And a lot of people on social media were shocked that he didn't take that initially. So far in this case, we do know that it even had a few hiccups to getting started before the.
Now, I was one of the ones on social media that said that I do believe that he should have took the plea deal. But after I've been watching this case and seeing some of the evidence, I kind of disagree. Now, would I have wanted to still spend millions, hundreds of thousands to close to millions on a law case to fight? Hell no. But I do believe that he's going to get off. But let's continue.
Those opening statements even happened late last week. There was issues about admittance of evidence there in the case with the defense's approach to the case as well as the prosecutors. Can you sort of break down what happened and the challenges that they initially had before this case could even get underway and be heard by a jury?
Yeah, prosecutors were upset about what they called an ambush by this prop gun defense. They said that the first they learned of this was through a statement, written notes from a statement that Rocky's lawyer, Joe Tacopina, had disclosed to them on the eve of trial, and they were saying that it should have been disclosed much sooner, that there's actually a court rule that requires oral or written statements from possible witnesses to be disclosed 30 days before trial. So they didn't get that disclosed ahead of time, except it's kind of all moot now. I mean, a lot of these arguments over evidence that feel like such a big deal kind of dissipate when the actual trial goes on, but prosecutors were upset about them not releasing that sooner. And then prosecutors kind of turned around and evened the tables by coming up with a ballistics report that had actually been in existence for over a year, but they said that they just found it. And it was about a 9mm magazine, not an actual gun, but a gun magazine that was in Rocky's home.
Okay, so correction. I said that they found a gun in the home, and as you're hearing here, they did not find a gun. They found a 9mm magazine. That's different. They found a magazine to a gun, and the weapons, the ammo inside the magazine did not match the shell casing that the former friend turned into the police. However, they said that that magazine that he had is capable of holding rounds of a 9mm ammo. Okay, so I stand corrected on that update. Okay.
Police searched it in April 2022. And of course, the gun that was fired allegedly in the incident was a 9mm. So they're hoping that this magazine will help the jury connect Rocky to the shooting, because prosecutors are going to be arguing that this was the magazine that was used in the shooting. And the ballistics report says that while the bullets that police found in the magazine when they found it in April 2022 were different than the bullets that Relly says he picked up from the shooting scene, that there's still 9mm. So I think that's a big piece of evidence. But the case kind of comes down to, is the jury going to believe that Relly planted the shell casings himself, or came up with the shell casings himself and is lying and saying that he recovered them from the scene? Because that's one unique aspect of this case, is that police responded to a 911 call at the shooting scene, went to this area and searched around. They were looking for victims or any sign of a shooting, and they didn't find any shell casings. And then Relly went back an hour later and said it only took him a couple minutes to pick up the shell casings because he knew right where to go. So the defense is really riding on jurors thinking that he's lying about that. And then
now let me stop it right here. Mind you that the former friend did not call the police the day of the incident. He called the police about 2 days after the incident to report what had happened, about 2 days prior, 2 days after. And also after text messages going back and forth between him and Rocky of him wanting money, honey. He wanted money. He wanted Rocky to pay him, or he was going to tell on him. So keep that in mind. He wanted money as well, okay?
He actually brought these shell casings with him himself from to California and planted them to lie and say that Rocky was using a real gun instead of a prop gun.
I think that is the most intriguing part from just the outside looking into this case, knowing that, again, ASAP Relly didn't go to police for a few days also after the shooting, where he brought the shell casings himself from the scene. We've also seen some of the injuries that have been shown in court as well. It seemed to be just a mix on his knuckle as well. Can you sort of talk about what the energy is in the room there in the courtroom? Of course, the jury is looking on. Is anybody showing any signs on their face that maybe they are believing ASAP Relly's story over the defense team that, I should say, ASAP Rocky has put together, that is hoping to get him this not guilty verdict?
I will say the energy in the courtroom is terrible. It's awful in there. It'll just drain you by the end of the day. And part of it is just the stress of the trial. And it's not anyone doing anything particular, but it's just, you get all those people in a courtroom. You have all the tension of the attorneys yelling back and forth. There's a prosecutor who really takes issue with everything. Rocky's lawyer, Joe Tacopina, is a strong advocate, so he's not going to, take any kind of flack from the prosecutor. So they really go back and forth on it. And there's so much at stake here for everybody involved that the energy in there is really terrible. But I think the jury is they're in the box and they're a little bit more comfortable than the people who are crammed in the audience. So it's hard to really know what they're thinking. But I think we've got another week of this ahead. So I think it's stressful for everybody involved.
And of course, we have to talk about the Rihanna element of the entire thing. She's a superstar. She's standing there beside her man there in the courtroom, supporting him through this. I do also want to show this tweet that we have on X from AP Entertainment, showing Rihanna exiting the courtroom. That was during a lunch break. That's been a huge portion of this case as well. Even in those initial questions where they're asking the potential jurors before they actually came jurors, are you going to be swayed in any way by Rihanna being connected to this case? Of course, that being her partner. So, and then what are your initial thoughts on Rihanna being there in the courtroom? How has that garnered a reaction from those who are looking on?
I mean, it's such a kind of jaw dropper when she walks in, because she's one of the most famous people on earth. And I think we're going to get the criticism from people saying that we're acting like, fangirls, or why can't we focus on the testimony? But also the entire trial is being streamed online. So I feel like my need to live tweet or report everything that's being said is a bit negated by the fact that the entire thing is being recorded, and we can get a running transcript of this and post video clips later in the afternoon if we can. But what's not being recorded is the audience. For a couple of days, there were no images of Rihanna in court because we're not allowed to film the audience or take photos. There was a sketch artist, Mona Schaefer Edwards, who's a famous sketch artist from LA, was hired by TMZ to go into the courtroom and do a sketch of her.
So I know they're rambling and everything right now, but they're just talking about Rihanna because, she is a billionaire. She is a boss woman, okay? So they are just putting emphasis on her appearance because she didn't appear the first few days of the trial because she was out. I think she was out of the country, actually. But she's back now, and she's definitely there in support of her man. A lot of people was like, where is she? Where is she? She's not supporting this. You know how a lot of people love to put their spin on it. But we all knew that she wasn't too far away from the situation. So she showed an appearance, and yes, they're making a big deal about it. That's why you're hearing this right here. But she's going to get back to it in just a second, okay?
Right as the door opened, and here walks Rihanna. It was like some kind of runway show or something. It was like, wow. And you have to imagine, especially knowing Joe Tacopina and his reputation and how he knows how to work the press and the media, that this had to have been intentional, because while the first 2 days it was unclear if the jury knew she was there, there's no way they could have missed her yesterday.
And we're also showing this tweet as well from Nancy Dillon. She's a Rolling Stones reporter, showing Rihanna reading day 5. They asked her, how was she holding up? She said, I'm good, thank you. She did decline to address the case. Not surprising. But again, she wants to show her support. It does seem like at this point for her partner. And as we're watching this, again, the cross-examination portion also started at the end of this week. A lot of folks are now saying, from watching some of the video footage, as you mentioned, because it's all being live streamed as well, they're saying Relly's story isn't seeming to add up. It seems to be some inconsistencies that have happened. What is that like as the prosecution and the defense are going at it? And again, this cross-examination portion, which is going to be extremely important for ASAP.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of issues to the cross-examination. First, in just how he's not answering the question, the constant need for the judge to intervene, but then the contradictions that he's made. And I'm just recently, I'm putting a video of this up on my YouTube as we speak, but he's being asked about whether he's ever shot anything at a gun range, a 9mm at a gun range, because of course the defense needs to try to place him with a 9mm, because how else would you've come up with these spent shell casings. So they asked him, were you ever firing a 9mm? And he said, absolutely not. Really unequivocal denial. But then they pull out a video of him at a gun range firing a 9mm. So
now let me stop right here and just speak on that for a second. In court, you have to be very careful how you answer a question, right? So they asked this guy that's accusing A$AP Rocky, have you yourself ever fired a 9mm weapon before? Okay, because why they ask him that? Well, because he pulls up at the police station with 2 shell casings from a 9mm weapon. They asked him under oath, have you ever fired a 9mm weapon yourself? And he says, absolutely not. They trap you like that. He says, absolutely not. Now, what he should have said is, I don't recall if I have, I'm not sure what type of weapon it was, but maybe not. But he said, absolutely not. And then guess what? They didn't spend all this money now and went to all the gun ranges that's in the area and literally found him on camera that he admitted to doing what? At the gun range, firing a 9mm weapon. They caught him on camera firing his weapon. So when you say absolutely not, you're saying under no circumstances will you ever see me firing a 9mm. Okay, he's doubling down on it. That is how you get yourself in trouble. So his story, that's just one thing about it. But his story is not incredible because they keep catching him in lies. They keep catching him in lies. This is the guy that's saying that Rocky shot him. Rocky like, no, I didn't, and da-da-da-da. It was a prop gun, and, it was a non-harmful weapon, and now, boom, they done placed a weapon and ammo in the person that is accusing Rocky of this hands, okay? All right, let's continue.
Things like that are very helpful to the defense, because if you can destroy Relly's credibility, there goes the case. They couldn't convict. But I think prosecutors are banking on the fact that they don't just have Relly's testimony. They have the surveillance videos of the shooting, and then they also have a 911 call. And that when you really get into the video of the shooting, which at first glance, if you're just on the internet and looking at it for 10 seconds, you can't see what's going on. But if you look at all the other videos that are around that area, you can place who the people are and see what's going on. And that the movement of the people tracks with what Relly is saying and what the 911 caller says. And it contradicts what Rocky's defense said about how he fired the shots as a warning, because the defense is that Relly was attacking their friend Elijah, who goes by Ills, and that Rocky fired the gun as a warning to try to stop him from doing that. But the prosecutor the other day went over the video that he said, and he's going to argue to the jury, that it shows Ills didn't start moving until after the first shot was fired. So I think it's things like that that prosecutors are hoping will tie the case together for the jury and make up for, after 3 hours of cross-examination, Relly said he wasn't sure if a bullet really grazed his knuckles. He just thought that it did, even though earlier he had said that he knew it was a bullet that grazed his knuckles.
So another thing right here, the guy himself that called 911, Relly, is now saying I don't know if the bullets grazed my knuckles or not, when originally that is what he said, that the ammo grazed his knuckles. So now he's like, oh, I think it did. I'm not sure it did. I know I said I did, but now I'm not sure. And yeah, his story is very inconsistent.
We have those kind of discrepancies, but it's going to be a question of, is it enough to overcome the big picture?
And let's talk about the text messages as well. In court, they've been showing text messages, alleged conversations between both ASAP Relly and ASAP Rocky. That even led to them meeting up initially. That was the reason it was all caught on text, and there were some texts allegedly after the exchange happened. What are your thoughts on those texts? Do you think that that's an important piece of evidence? Because the prosecution was really driving that home in their opening statements.
Yeah, and I think they're going to try to point to the text as saying, look, Rocky was the obvious.
Okay, I think it froze up. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what she's saying is the defense team is trying to put, the defense team is saying the other guy was the aggressor, not Rocky. And there were text messages that were deleted prior to the meetup where Relly was the aggressor, but he deleted it. That's not a good look. It's not a good look that you delete text messages out of your phone because you're trying to hide something. Again, the prosecution is going to have to figure out how are they going to spin that one, because their client deleted text message, okay? They deleted text messages that showed him as the aggressor.
Fact that Relly had deleted text that before this meetup, before this encounter on November 6, 2021, he had actually sent Rocky some text messages that prosecutors described him as rude. And I think it would be subjective to say, were they rude? Were they threatening? But he said something like, beat me up or give me a reason or something, where he's just kind of talking trash to Rocky. And a few hours later is when Rocky responded. So Joe is focusing on the fact that when Relly handed his phone over to New York police, he had actually deleted those text messages, that they weren't visible on the phone. In redirect, prosecutors brought up that he deleted the messages before he even went to meet with Rocky. That when he deleted the messages between him and Rocky, that there weren't any new messages after that. It's just
So, and that's not a good look, you guys. Deleting messages and then turning your phone over to the police is not good. But the prosecution is trying to say, no. Yeah, he deleted the messages, but he didn't delete the messages right before he turned the phone over to the cops. He deleted the messages like the same day he received it, which I don't even know how the hell they can even prove that. But that's what they're trying to say. Yeah, he deleted messages, but it was done the days way before he went to the police officers.
After he deleted those messages, and when Rocky met up with him, challenging him to a fight. So the implication from the defense was that that Relly was destroying evidence that would try to refute his case. So prosecutors might think that they did a good job of refuting that. But again, all these are small details that matter. But the big picture involves all the text messages, the video, the confrontation, and then the very specific defense that they put forth in the opening statement about the alternative theory about what happened.
And Megan, court resumes on Monday at 10:30. So first of all, will you be there in the courtroom? Can we count on you for some of those live Twitter updates? And also,
Absolutely.
yeah, what happens next in this next week? What do you expect for us to see?
I think we're going to see the prosecutors rest. We're going to get the ballistics report in, a few more prosecution witnesses, but then we're going to be on to Rocky's case, that he's going to be calling defense witnesses. It's a big question of whether he's going to testify. Normally in a case like this, I would say no, and I'm still leaning toward no, because the problem with testifying for a defendant is always the cross-examination. But this case is unusual, and his lawyer has an unusual approach to things that really could work for him, and that if they can put Rocky up there to explain this, that's a big question, whether we're going to see him testify. But he has a couple surefire defense witnesses, one being somebody who was actually there that night. He goes by 12E, but Jamel Phillips is the one who's actually going to say that Rocky had a prop gun. Because what's interesting to consider is right now there is no evidence in the trial record about a prop gun, because what his lawyer says is not evidence. And right now nobody has testified about this being a prop gun, but that's all going to come in through defense witnesses.
So I'm really looking forward to that analysis, that to play out in court, because like they just said, now, of course, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge or any of that. However, I do agree with her. If I was Rocky, I would not get up on the stand at all. And like she just said, they're saying it wasn't a real semi-automatic weapon. It was a prop gun. And they are going to have someone that was right on the site going to come forth and say it was also a prop gun. Okay. So my humble opinion right now, as we're seeing it, I do not believe that Rocky's going to be found guilty. One, because there is so many inconsistencies in the guy's story, and the judge had to stop him several times by saying, just answer the question. So he's definitely taking notice to the guy, really, who is trying to not directly answer. He's trying to beat around the bush a little bit, about his answers, how he responds. But somebody asked, is he trying to get money from ASAP? Yes. The dude actually filed a civil lawsuit as well. And in court, he actually made a statement looking at Rocky. The guy did, really. He looked at Rocky and basically said, this is all your fault. And I'm assuming that he's talking about if you would have just paid me money, we wouldn't be here. Now, of course, he could have meant anything, but that's how I'm taking it. If you would have paid me money, all of this would have went away. This would have been gone. So yes, he is trying to sue his friend ASAP for raising his knuckles with a weapon in the middle of an altercation between the two of them, okay? So, and that's what the defense is also banking on, that, listen, this is just a money grab. He just this man wants money. He know I'm dating a billionaire, you know, a billionaire boss over here or whatever, and he wants money, all right? So, but like I said, no weapon has been found, so they don't have that to go by. Only thing they have is what? Ammo and a magazine. The magazine that was found in Rocky's house, but it's not the same magazine that those weapons came from. However, the ballistic report says that magazine can definitely hold 9mm rounds, okay? So that's what we're looking at. They're saying, nope, I fired the weapon, but it was in, like, giving a warning, leave my friend alone, back up or whatever, but it was a prop weapon that could not have caused deadly harm, okay? So that is what's going on with the latest of ASAP Rocky. And like I said, this week coming is going to be very important because they're going to bring the defense witnesses in, and they're going to start talking and defending ASAP Rocky. And this is probably what's going to land the plane and end the trial. And my opinion right now, as of February the 1st, I'm saying he is going to be found not guilty. And the reason why he's going to be found not guilty, not because he didn't do anything wrong, is what they're trying to charge him with, and that is 2 felony assault charges with a semi-automatic weapon, meaning that he has to have had a semi-automatic weapon for those 2 charges to fit. Okay, now, if they would have just said with a weapon, that would have been a different story. But the fact that they said semi-automatic weapon, the defense said it was not a semi-automatic weapon. It was just a prop gun, okay? Just a prop gun. All right, Mentally Unstable says, happy Black History Month. Hey, I just spawned in. Hey, what is going on? Who don't know in the day and age that they subpoena phone companies and get deleted messages? Yeah, he should have known, but he did delete some messages, and they see that the messages that were deleted were disrespecting ASAP, okay? He disrespect ASAP via text message. Anyway, you guys, I said I was only going to come on for about an hour and a half. I think I met my mark. We've been on for about an hour. I think we're going to sign off. Again, thank you, Tisha Bailey. She's I'm visiting family, but wanted to show some love. Happy Black History, everybody. Hello, sisters. Hey, girl. So anyway, you guys, please thumb up this video unless you guys have questions about what's going on. Again, this was only to fill you in about what's going on with ASAP Rocky and our President Donald Trump. Okay, I will be changing the title and putting a proper thumbnail up sometime today, okay? But I wanted to go ahead and start my live, and sometimes that takes me about a good 10 minutes to do. So I wanted to go ahead and start the live, so that's why I named it something different. But again, happy Black History Month. Go do something prideful, I guess, you know what I mean? I love y'all. Oh yeah, and also if you can, attend a Black History program. I'm sure my husband and I are going to attend a Black History program somewhere in these Houston streets, okay? All right, I love y'all. Hit this thumbs up button, and guess what? We out, and we out early. Now, Internet Sister may be coming on a little later. I'm sure she is today, Saturday. So let's just wait for the Internet Sister to come on, okay, you guys? All right, I love y'all. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.
Yay! She kept talking about
We
that
got these
family.
hoes over there.
She kept talking about that family. She kept talking
Internet
about that
gangsters.
family. She kept talking about that family. She kept talking about that family. That family. She kept talking about that family. Talking about that family.
These motherfuckers that we want to listen. Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.